Hello, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for Pitch Day today. My name is Mahnur and I'll be walking you guys through the Software Development Pitch Day. So with that, let's get started. Is everyone able to hear me fine? Just a thumbs up or perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. Perfect. I will start by sharing my screen. There we go. Alrighty, perfect. Well, let's get started. So, hello everyone, welcome to Circuit Stream's Software Development Pitch Day today. Today we're celebrating the amazing journey and graduation of our March software development cohort. Over the past few months, these students have really sharpened their skills, taken on real-world challenges, and built solutions that highlight the creativity and mindset of true software developers. This event brings together an incredible mix of industry professionals that are here to hear the fresh ideas of student graduates, as well as the graduates who are ready to present their final product it is that they've created, as well as everyone else in the community that gets a front row look at the future of software developers. You're about to experience some really innovative projects, some smart strategies, creative tech stacks, and some problem-solving skills that help shape the software developers of tomorrow. With that, let's start off with some housekeeping key points. Today's event will be about 2 hours long, so 3 p.m. Mountain Time or 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Though only our partners and presenters can speak today, I would really encourage everyone in the attendance to participate in the chat. So please feel free to ask questions, comments, feedbacks, and anything else. Throughout these pitches, we will be playing some embedded YouTube videos of their demos. So please be mindful that these will be played at full volume on my end, but be prepared to adjust your own computer volume as we play the slides throughout. Lastly, a reminder to our guest speakers, please make use of the moderator chat on the right-hand side at the very bottom and the general chat for general questions. Hi everyone. Again, my name is Mahnur. I take care of partnerships here at CircuitStream. Ultimately, my goal is to get job seekers in our career program a little bit closer to helping find jobs, mentorships, and other relevant opportunities. I have brought together some really amazing guest speakers from different companies and different niches that would speak really closely to the students and their projects. Some have technical roles and some are hiring managers, but essentially my hope is that this is an opportunity for our students to network, connect, and chat about the software industry. At CircuitStream, our main mission is to bridge the gap between learning as well as the industry skills, and my role is to bring everything together. I get to support these students in building job-ready portfolios, navigating them through their job search, and just essentially stepping into the next part of their chapters and careers. I work closely with the instructors as well. We have an instructor joining us a little bit later today that will kind of tell us about the students and their experience when it comes to the software program. So with that, I will kind of start off just by a little bit of the schedule of the event. So just the first 5 minutes will be kickoffs. We'll then move into partner introductions. These will be partners introducing themselves and the companies that they currently or previously have worked at. We will then follow it up with the introduction to the Capstone project. So just giving you a back-end view of what the Capstone is like. And then we will head into the chunk of the presentation today, which is the graduates kind of just talking about their pitches and the products it is that they've developed. And then lastly, we will just do a wrap-up and everyone will just kind of ask any questions there. So with that, CircuitStream, just some background on us, because I know we have some few new students or potential students that are interested in our programs. So CircuitStream began in 2015 first, and then we are now a leading provider of technology education in game development, game design, product management, and of course, software development. Our primary goal is to provide future-proofed and industry-relevant skills to folks looking to pivot into tech or even just wanting to upskill or learn about the technical aspects of the industry. Our secondary goal is to prepare our bootcamp graduates for jobs in their preferred industry through events, one-on-one connections, AMAs, and of course, pitch days as well. And then since our start in 2015, we have now educated over 50,000 learners, which is so amazing to say. And we are constantly updating our curriculum to stay ahead of the curve. So things like AI implementation, how to use AI in an ethical manner as well. CircuitStream is also educational partners with several top universities across North America to provide technology education for both youth and adult learners. In parallel to the technical program CircuitStream offers, we also provide an optional career program to our bootcamp students. And this program essentially just helps our students with their job hunting and kind of how to stay relevant within the industry, how to make sure their resumes are up to date, and how students can just pivot their way into the career part, which is what most of them are here for. And we take pride in providing opportunities to connect our learners with industry partners and networks. Just some last little bit of stuff here. I know we're all very excited to get into the pitches here, but for anyone that's in attendance today, especially businesses, we are always looking to expand our network of employers who we reach out to for events, talent opportunities, and more. If you're interested in joining our network, please reach out to me. You can just drop a message here, or my email is up on the screen, and I'd be more than happy to connect. With the software development bootcamp, so this is a very intensive 36-week live online bootcamp which prepares our students for successful careers in software development. The cohort that is presenting today started their bootcamps back in March and recently graduated in December. So they've had 4 weeks to complete their projects, which is incredible. Because you'll just see their projects. They're so cool to see. At the end of the bootcamp, students, like I said, were given 4 weeks to create a fully functional software application. This gave them an opportunity to showcase their skills in development and design, and also the criteria that their assignment was based on was like things being architecture, code quality, framework, library usage, testing, debugging, devlog, and deployment. With that, if I could please have Carlos join the stage and just share a little bit about the students that he's worked with, and just kind of highlight some key things from the program. Carlos is one of our software development instructors that has worked closely with our students. Carlos, there's going to be a button at the bottom that says join stage at the very bottom. So if you just click on that, you'll be able to join and share a little bit. Okay, I think Carlos might be having some technical difficulties. We'll come back to him. But with that, let's jump into some industry partners. We're so fortunate to have some really incredible partners joining us today, and I can't wait for you to hear from them. These are leaders in software development who bring a...
Oh, sorry.
Okay, no worries at all, Carlos.
Yeah,
No.
sorry, I was trying to connect, but I don't know what was happening.
No worries.
But fortunately, it worked.
Amazing. That's great. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about the cohort, the students that you worked with, and kind of your experience with how they were in the beginning of the program versus until the very end when they were so much more confident in their skills.
Yeah, actually, we are about to finish a second cohort. I mean, this is the second time that I'm teaching the software development bootcamp, right? So I'm going to finish a second cohort, right? And I would say the experience with my students have been amazing, right, from the very beginning, right? See how students make progress, right? And many of them are coming with almost no knowledge, I mean, about coding, about developing, right? And now you see that they are like confident in their skills, are developing actually great projects. And actually this cohort, I was really surprised because now, we also teach during the bootcamp students to leverage AI. So AI is a great tool so they can combine, their skills with AI, right? And they can create amazing things actually. And I'm being honest, I'm not like exaggerating or something like that. I mean, I have been teaching like 14 years now, right? Coding in different programming languages. And if I compare the students before, right, with what they can do now, thanks to amazing tools that we have and we teach in the bootcamp, actually is really amazing, right? I'm really surprised, of, I mean, and also the effort, right? It's not like it's easy, right? I see students coming to class, working on their assignments, participating, asking questions, and then at the end, we see the fruits of that, right? And I'm very happy. I'm very happy because the student success is also my success. So I feel part of all of this. Yep. So basically that.
Thank you so much, Carlos. And the students really do appreciate you as an instructor and all the expertise that you bring to the table. It's amazing that you're such a big part of their journey. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. With that, let's jump over into some of our industry partners today. I have, first of all, Gigi, who is a principal engineer at Salesforce. And no, she's a principal engineer as a Salesforce developer at Kicksaw. Gigi, if I could please have you join the stage and just give a little bit of an introduction about yourself.
Hi, my name is Gigi. So I actually changed jobs recently. I'm
Nice.
now a technical architect at a company called Venture Tech Group. So it is a Salesforce partner as well. So I do a lot of like MuleSoft integrations, Apex development, but also like designing architecture and things like that. But yeah, I'm really excited to be here and hearing all about the pitches and everyone's hard work in this boot camp.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to have you, Gigi. With that, could I please have Chris join the stage and just a simple introduction about where you work and a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm high resolution in person. So Chris Simmons, Senior Software Manager at AWS. Graduated from UBC in 2005, so about 20 years in industry, and I've been at AWS or Amazon for 14 years here in Vancouver. And I've done a variety of things, but currently I'm leading engineering on AWS Security Agent, and which is an AI-powered security application, as well as some stuff in our identity and authorization space.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Chris. I'm so excited for you to view some of the pitches here today. Lastly, I have Taryn. Taryn, if you could please join the stage and just share a little bit about yourself as well, please.
Hi, I'm Taryn. I've been in software maybe for the last 10 years. Currently a senior software engineer at F5, working on the NGINX project. So we do like load balancing and training AI models and security systems and things like that. My background, like I started out as a classical musician and an electrician and things like that. So I've had a very circular career, let's say.
Amazing. Thank you. With your different backgrounds, you can speak so closely to some of the projects students are working on. So thank you. Perfect. With that, let's get into the most exciting part of today, which is the software pitches. So first of all, we have Mark, who will be talking to us about PantryPal. After that, we have Fabienne, who will be walking us through his project called Enduro. And then at the very end, we have Tommy talking a little bit about Pocket GM. Please, as a reminder, to share your comments in the chat for people that are not able to be up on stage with us. If you have any specific questions for our presenters, please again just post it in the chat. Following each presentation, the guest speakers will come up, just provide some feedback and then question the students a little bit. And with that, I would like to call Mark up on stage to share a little bit more about PantryPal. Good luck, Mark.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Francis Antonio. I'm a software developer graduate from CircuitStream with over 7 years experience in logistics and supply chain. So I spent most of my career working with inventory workflows, internal systems, essentially keeping real-world chaos organized. And that's what sparked my interest in software development. And outside work, my partner and I love being outdoors. So paddle boarding, hiking, occasional camping, where planning food and avoiding waste are very important, right? So the combination of working with systems, enjoying organization, and wanting to reduce food waste is what ultimately led me to PantryPal. So next slide. Oh, it was the first slide, sorry. I got mixed up with the slides. So anyway, PantryPal. PantryPal is a pantry and home inventory management app designed to help people keep track of what they have at home. So the problem PantryPal addresses is something most of us deal with regularly. Once groceries are put away, it's easy to lose visibility into what we already have at home. That leads to food waste, food expiring before it gets used, and even buying duplicates simply because we're unsure what's already in our pantry or fridge. Next slide. PantryPal solves this by giving users one organized view of everything they have at home. Instead of guessing, users can clearly see their items, where they're stored, and what needs attention. That visibility helps reduce food waste and avoid buying duplicates they already have. So next slide. Okay, we'll watch a quick demo of PantryPal so you can see how it works. Welcome to PantryPal, my pantry and home inventory app. After logging in, users land on a dashboard that highlights key information like total items, items expiring soon, expired items, and how many locations have items. You can also see the top 5 items that need attention and the 5 most recently added items. These dashboard summary cards are interactive and automatically filter the pantry view. Here, it is showing items that are expiring soon. The pantry page acts as a master inventory, where users can sort items by name and by earliest or latest expiration dates. They can also filter by storage location cards to quickly find what they need. Now, I'll add a new item. For example, eggs. Let's make it a dozen. These should go under dairy. And let's put it in the fridge. And for now, let's give it an estimated expiry date. I can use the search bar to quickly find an item and edit the item if something changes. In the settings page, users can manage preferences and safety settings. I also added the light and dark mode just for fun. PantryPal is fully responsive, so it works well on the go. Okay, PantryPal is a full stack web application that I built end to end. The front end was built with React, focusing on usability and responsive design. The backend uses Node and Express, with MongoDB handling data storage. I also implemented authentication so each user has their own private pantry data. Both the front end and the backend are deployed using Render, making the application fully live and accessible. Next slide. The project was built over a compressed timeline of just over 2 weeks. The first phase focused on project setup, authentication, backend, and structure. The second phase covered core feature development like pantry management, dashboard, logic, and filtering. And final phase focused on UI polish, responsiveness testing, and demo preparation. Next slide. One of the main challenges with this project was the compressed development timeline. At the start of the capstone, I was still wrapping up another project and also had planned travel, which reduced the total amount of development time available. Because of that, I had to be very intentional about prioritizing core features and managing scope carefully. Another challenge was balancing usability with technical complexity, making sure the app stayed intuitive while still being technically sound. This meant making deliberate trade-offs throughout the build. So next slide. This project reinforced a few key learnings for me. First, the importance of scoping and prioritization, focusing on what delivers the most value with real constraints. Second, designing for usability, not just technical completeness. And finally, taking end-to-end ownership of a full stack application from planning and development to deployment and demo. These learnings will definitely influence how I approach future projects. Next slide. Looking ahead, there are several directions I'd like to take PantryPal. First is UI interaction improvements, such as clearer information states and better item detail visibility. Another focus is reducing manual entry, starting with multi-item input and smarter onboarding. Next is I'd also like to make the app more adaptable by supporting dynamic user-defined locations. Beyond setup, I want PantryPal to remain useful day to day through smaller alerts like expiry and low stock notifications, along with planning features such as recipe-based shopping lists. Longer term, I'd explore purchase history and simple price analytics over time. All of these were intentionally scoped out so I could focus on delivering a solid MVP first. And next slide. Thank you for your time today. That was Patrick Pal. I'd be happy to answer any questions. And you can see my contact details. Here you can scan the QR code if you want to connect through LinkedIn, or you can email me.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mark, for sharing. This is an amazing project that I can see a lot of people using. And then, of course, we see our team members, David, and also our career coach, Cecilia, on the chat, telling how useful this product can be for our families as well. With that, could I please have the guest speakers join the stage and provide feedback to Mark and just share what they think from a software perspective?
Yeah, I can go first. Yeah, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. But before questions, like I gotta say, it's great to work on a project that's personally useful for you, right? Like it didn't seem like this was an arbitrary project where you're like, okay, let's make an app for the sake of making an app. You said, hey, like this aligns with my interests. Maybe you found one too many cartons of spoiled milk in the fridge, so you were able to use this. So yeah, I think a lot of apps or websites or products, the developer is not a customer, so you get that disconnect, right? And you're having to like put a customer hat on and wonder what it would be like to use this. Like if you're using this, it'll be great, right? Because like you're going to benefit from it. The flip side of that is that there could be a risk of overbuilding to the things that are useful for you, but like, hey, like I like this, I'm gonna spend a bunch of time on it, but like 1 in a million people might like that, and that happens to be you, right? So have you like run this by anybody else? Have you like tried to do some user acceptance testing, things like that, to kind of broaden perspectives? Like you gave a possible roadmap, right? Like other things you could work on. Did you vet that with anybody else?
Actually, not at the moment, but I was planning to sharing it to my friends and seeing how they use it and what feedback they could provide and what they want to see it develop in the future. But for now, it was really a project for me and my wife. That's why the locations were originally static, because that's how our pantry or kitchen was made. But as I said, I wanted to make it dynamic, like the pantry locations, because not every kitchen is the same, right? So another crud. So it speaks that I could create my own pantry and make it on a layout that's similar to what the user's kitchen would be. So one thing is that's a good plan. I'll be doing that soon so that I could develop further PantryPal.
Great. Maybe we can round robin, so and not one of us eats up all the space.
Thank you.
I can go next. I would echo what Chris says. First, like, congratulations. Like, it's hard to get something done in such a short period of time, especially when you have other things going on that are just not what you're working on right now. I would have said something similar. Have you tested it with other people? Like, obviously this is a challenge that you have. But what do you think is the biggest sort of challenge about getting people to use something like this?
Yeah, good question. Biggest challenge is that, of course, like I said, not all pantries are the same or kitchen setup are the same, and people would tend to be too lazy to just put it one by one. That's why I added a feature development that I could make a list and maybe use a phone camera to scan the receipt and just populate everything. That's a future thing that I was planning to do as well, so that it's easier for users to input to onboard the items that they bought that day, and then just edit it by location once it's inside the system. But that's much advanced. I need some mentorship
Of course.
to get that. Or
yeah, I appreciate scope creep is like absolutely a thing.
Honestly, that was one of the challenging things because I had too many ideas that I need to put in. But
definitely, yeah.
I had so little time to finish it. So I thought, what's the core features that I'd like to show first, then just develop develop it further as I
Yeah.
have more time to do it. So yeah.
I'd be curious how how duplication and like multiple users would work as well. So like you put in eggs, but what if I put in eggs, but I called it something else, or I called it like the brand of the eggs
Oh,
or whatever it is. Like
yeah.
I'd be curious how you actually like sanitize that sort of information. And if you do have multiple users, like how that works, how you track that and how you give access and things like that. But yeah, absolutely. Good job.
Thank you.
I thought this was great, especially like you only had 2 weeks to build it. It's amazing. And like I can see it from my own personal usage too. I have like a lot of food in the freezer and I don't know what's in there. So I could really see people, using this app. So I'll be excited to see you actually like building it and marketing it and trying to sell it. So if you were to sell it, like how would you do that? Would you like have like a freemium model where you give basic feature for free, and then like if you want add-ons you would pay a certain price? And I love like your future feature ideas too, like having alerts, because that's the first thing I was thinking of, like, oh, I want to have alerts if something's expiring soon, I'll eat it tomorrow, right? But yeah, like how would you sell this?
Oh my God, yeah, I haven't even thought about that. But once you said it, I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I should have some like beta version or a trial version, like only one user for this one. And then once, because multiple users could be in the same household, maybe a premium could use like more than one user to sharing the same pantry. That's good. I might be thinking about that. How one pantry could share, multiple users sharing one pantry. Yeah, I'll think about that actually. I'll put that in the future developments then.
Thank you, guest speakers, for all your lovely feedback. Sorry, Chris, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's like one idea, like, as you kind of go and think big about like possible additions, right? If you want to get a lot of other people trying this, one thing that might be a good combination of usability and also like you learning new techniques is integrating with third-party authorization providers, right? You've probably felt the pain where you go and you have a separate username and password for every website, or even worse, you have the same username and password for every website. So integrating with a Google Auth or OpenID or something like that, it's kind of well documented out there how to do that, and then your user could just be like, oh yeah, I use my Google account and then I'm in, right? So that might be a fun learning experience and usability tweak. The other thing I'd say is that you had functionality like alerts, obviously, nutrition information, all these other things. There's a lot of open information out there, right? So in the interest of time, you might want to figure out how you want to differentiate this app. Again, if it's for free learning, then do whatever, right? Who cares about duplication? But if you actually want to like focus and get it out there and use your time where it has the most impact, you could say, okay, where am I not differentiated? Like, you don't want to be the one true repository of all nutrition data in the world, right? So like outsource that to somebody else, go get a free one, pay a couple bucks a month to access to one, whatever that looks like. And then you can focus your features on what makes your app unique.
Yeah, comparative study, I guess.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for all your feedback for Mark. And with that, if I could just have everyone please leave the stage really quickly, because we have our next student joining us really quickly as well. Could I please have Fabien join the stage and share a little bit about his product called Enduro?
Hi there. Well, first of all, great job, Mark. Honestly, my pantry could use something like that. It was really well done, so congratulations. Hello, I'm Fabien, and before I start, I just want to thank everyone for taking the time out of, I'm sure, your pretty busy days and schedule to attend today, so thanks for the time. I am presenting an app that I built as part of this program's Capstone project. It's called Enduro, which is an AI-driven strength workout builder for endurance athletes. So again, I'm Fabien, and I did my BSc at UBC and recently completed the software development program through CircuitStream in partnership with UBC. Started my career in data analytics and leverage tools like Python, and that was really where I discovered my deep interest in problem solving and coding. But rather than doing just analytics, I wanted to focus or build more useful and interesting experiences for people. So that's where I kind of transitioned into product management, where I was able to build things that solved real user problems. And I currently work as a digital product owner at a safety regulator here in British Columbia. This is where my UX or user experience and thinking about technical solutions really took off. And today I'm well, just a relatively new dad with a 17-month-old daughter, and I like to ride bikes, which is a bit of a theme of today's presentation. So I wanted to solve a problem that I had as someone who used to race bikes and needed to spend time to support my sport. And I found that this is a common problem with endurance athletes, and knowing what kind of strength training truly helps them with the relevant sport. So they know they need strength training, but they don't really know what to do in the gym when they actually get there. And so what I decided to do was solve that problem by starting to look at other apps in the market. Sorry, next slide. And notice there was no real solution that met what I was kind of envisioning. So a lot of the solutions today, they focus on strength programs that are mostly generic, and they assume the user has access to all sorts of equipment. They mostly focus on strength training that doesn't facilitate a specific endurance sport and don't include multi-week planning. So at the end of the day, I found that athletes, they really want simple workouts that match the sport, that builds on prior sessions, uses available equipment that they have access to, and adapts to their busy schedules, time constraints, travel without really requiring complex planning. Next slide, please. So the solution I built was something called Enduro. And really the way I see it is it's something that's built for the recreational or amateur athlete. I don't envision a pro athlete using this. I think they would have they would hire a coach. So this app in particular is meant to be a sort of a simple solution for that. It tailors the training or strength training to the endurance sport of your choosing and preferences that you give it. It supports for now cycling, swimming, and running, and adjusts to equipment that you have and what time you're available and what your overall goals are. At the end of the day, I find I tried to make it so it's a simple, clean, intuitive user interface. It's not too complex. You kind of just select what you need and you can go. So it's something you can use in the gym itself. Just a quick idea of what it looks like. On the left is where you're selecting equipment in your profile section. Middle is an example of a generated workout that you can accept. And then a calendar view in case you do create a program. It kind of gives you a sense as to what's coming up or what you've done in the past. And then the demo is, oh, sorry, there's a slide on a bit of a technical implementation. I won't go too much into the implementation. If you could go to the next slide, please, sorry. I just wanted to share just a general idea as to what I used. One of the goals of this project was to learn more about AI and how it worked and how to interact with it, just because that's the trend of the industry. So I wanted to use this as an opportunity to kind of learn how that kind of works. Next up, please. And then the timeline, general groundwork was just like general research, thinking through the data model, drawing out solutions, building something basic to kind of poke at. Thinking through some of the structural stuff. And then in November is when I started building out some of the user flows, the preferences, learned a little bit more about how OpenAI works with their APIs, and then built some of my own APIs, and then the calendar view. And then up until December was some testing, considering accessibility requirements, and then prepping the MVP for the App Store. So it's currently in test flight right now, not necessarily the App Store. And so here's a demo. So the main challenges and takeaways here. So I wanted to learn more about context and data persistence, and I actually approached it the totally wrong way in this project. So I had to kind of undo some work and realize that I had to focus a bit more time on the back end before I did too much on the front end. Then I wanted to focus on TypeScript, so built it with TypeScript. And learned that it kind of helps to improve reliability over the long run, even it kind of feels slow when you're doing it. Also prompt design with OpenAI's interface and learning about the difference between quality, cost, and speed of what it gives back to you. And then the last three are just things like learning about how to make it easier in the future. So refactoring early is a good idea. Doing error handling that's sufficient to help you debug things in the future, and then also testing early, even if it feels slow, helps build confidence. So the next step was the MVP, and then the roadmap is really just right now is the deployment, and I just like to get some user feedback. I have ideas of features that I'm thinking about, but want to spend some time on the feedback first. And then thinking about integrations with larger apps like Strava and Garmin, which are other workout type apps, and then other platforms potentially. Yeah, and that's everything. So thanks again for your time, and I appreciate any feedback. Thank you.
Amazing job. This is such a cool product that I can see a lot of people using. So thank you so much, Fabian, for sharing this with us. If I could please have the guest speakers join us again and just provide a little bit of feedback for Fabian and his product.
Hi, I can go first. I think this is really great. I love the demo. Like the video is really well done. It's such a great idea too. So I'm kind of curious, like for the AI part, like how do you get it to generate the plan? Like what information are you feeding it, and how do you make sure that the plan is actually like makes sense? Like if you give it to a personal trainer, that they'll be like, oh yeah, this is like a sound plan for someone training for this specific event.
Yeah, thanks for the question. I think it's so the way to that I was able to the way you interact with it is so essentially you need to have like an expected structure that you feed information to, or sorry, an expected output. So when you give it a prompt, you try and be as explicit as you can without leaving too much room for assumptions. So it's just trying to, as you're building out the initial prompt, so as users select their options, it is essentially variables that you put together as part of an overall prompt that gets sent to OpenAI's interface, and then the expected result is essentially a structure that organizes the information the same way each and every time. For the most part, I found that when I was using different APIs, some were more successful than others. So I was running into some pretty significant challenges there. So it was about balancing which is the right model to use. So that part was really tough. I think the part around if you share it with a coach, that's part of the feedback section that I would love to share with someone who's trained and knows more about the workouts that do get generated, to see if they are at the end of the day sufficient enough to support the sport that the user is choosing. So I think I can see that there's going to be some iteration of feedback and testing to see if it's working, and then where I can improve that. So that's going to be probably the next main challenge, I think, here.
Cool. I guess I can go. Again, congratulations. It's a short period of time to be able to do something like this. I am a gymnast, actually, so I use a lot of these apps and Strava and things like that. Train Heroic is one of the apps that I use for like clients because I also am a trainer. So I guess I'm your target market. Have you thought about also linking things like, say, Apple Health, or like how did you think about displaying the data or like tracking improvements or progressions for people that
Yeah.
would use this?
Yeah, I was so the initially it was the way I was approaching is trying to because one thing one thing I'm worried about is when using Apple Health is what kind of from a privacy perspective is what kind of that's going to be different from just like the general workouts that you do and like essentially recommend certain workouts without knowing a lot of that personal information. It's more just generic to the types of workout. So that was one thing I've just been thinking about, but I don't really have any plans at the moment to integrate something like Apple Health. It was more just with Strava and Garmin because it's there's the information that I would that could be helpful would be more generic, and so yeah, I think it's just it's a problem that I have to think about around the privacy angle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
I think
that's
Chris
probably
mentioned for Mark's presentation about like utilizing other people's databases and things like that. So instead of having to build all these dashboards and stuff yourself, you can use somebody else's. But again, privacy definitely a concern.
yeah. No, but that's a really good question. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Fabian. It's a great app. I'm definitely target market as well. I run half marathons. I do martial arts, so I've struggled with like Heavy and other apps where like it's like the interfaces are great. There's lots. I saw on the sidebar there about in the chat about like how to do exercises and things like that. It's like that's helpful, but I need to go and stitch together actually what I want to do in order to get the outcomes I want. It seems like you've got a niche here that I haven't seen a lot of other apps do, so that's pretty cool. On the Apple Health note, they have very fine-grained permissions, so you can actually just say like, give me body weight, but don't give me some other thing that's not relevant to your workout. So that might be something you definitely like. You need to prioritize these integrations, right? And pick and choose. You don't have infinite time, but I wouldn't early out on that before you dig a bit deeper. So yeah, a couple of questions I was going to ask were already asked by other panelists. I would say on the prompt stuff, so the validation of like, hey, does this make sense as per the expected outputs, what a trainer would say, right? That's important. I think that's going to be extremely hard to do programmatically, right? That's going to be refinement and everything else. What you can do programmatically, and maybe you've done this, is like sanity checking, right? It's like, did the app tell me to do 2,000 reps and 45 sets? Did it tell me to do leg presses for like the whole workout? It's just leg press, right? So there might be, and obviously when you get into these rules-based things, it can get overcomplicated, right? So it might make sense to have some guardrails in place, although the models are now getting good enough that maybe they don't hallucinate that badly. Maybe I'll dip off the actual domain expertise. I really liked the software engineering skills that you picked up here, right? You're talking about strong type checking. You're talking about testing, and and like how that will slow you down originally, and then move forward from there. You're talking about good error handling, and that's speeding things up, right? That's not typically what you get out of 2-month projects that are like crush mode, right? And usually takes a longer time. Like you see the more senior software engineers knowing like, hey, yes, it will go slightly slower if I write the tests now, but that will pay for itself very soon, right? So the fact that with a relatively short project, you're able to realize some of these amortizations, right? Like with JavaScript especially, you can be fast and loose and do a bunch of other stuff. So choosing TypeScript, and kind of forcing yourself there. I do a lot of my code in Rust, which is like extremely type sensitive, and that's a pain at first, but pays for itself later. So it's cool that you're able to extract those lessons from this project.
Thank you. Yeah, no, thanks very much. And yeah, I think on a testing perspective it's Part of it was just trying to understand like the coverage as part of testing and realize that my coverage is still not significant, like big enough for production level. It feels like I need to do a lot more, which is why at the end is like I just need to spend more time testing this app and getting feedback in the meantime before I actually build anything new to it. No, but thank you for that. It helps me to think about that more. Thanks.
Yeah, and coverage gets hard when the brains of your service are a magic black AI box, where you like, yeah, I don't know what's happening. So
yeah,
I feel your pain.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fabian, and thank you so much to the guest speakers for providing your feedback. Fabian, you have some really nice comments and feedback in the chat as well. There's Austin and David as well, just asking some questions. With that, we will move on to our last student of the day. Tommy, if I could please have you join the stage and share a little bit about your project.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Let me start. And hello, everyone. I'm Tommy. Today, I want to introduce Pocket GMs. This is an AI game master that is always ready for you. And please, next slide. Okay. But first, let me introduce myself. Before becoming a developer, I earned a master's degree in applied physics. It means I don't just write code. I'm trained to solve a complex problem. I love reading and video games, but my bigger purchase is TRPGs, which is stand for tabletop role-playing games. Have you heard of Dungeons and Dragons? Think of this way. It's like acting in a movie with your friends, but without a script. You create a story together just by talking. And next slide, please. Yeah, I love this game, but when I moved to Canada, I faced a problem. I can't find anyone to play with. To play, you need a human game master, and they are very hard to find. So I thought, if I can't find a human game master, I'll build an AI one. And so Pocket GM was born. And next slide, please. Pocket GM core value is simple, pay anytime, anywhere. For technologies, I use React Native for the mobile app and Node.js for the backend. For the AI, I use the Google Gemini to create a story. To make the charts fast and smooth, I use Socket.io for real-time communications. Next slide, please. And the video, yeah. Here is the hours versions. First, we create the characters. In a real life, it will take hours and beginner often get lost. But in Pocket GMs, AI will help you create a character step by step. Here, I said I want to be a test driver and in Vancouver, and it's asked for detail about the error. Based on my answers, it suggests the perfect skills for my characters. And here you can see like driving, navigating, and mechanical repairing. So let me allocate my point here. And in a real life, it will spend around half hour to do this. So let me skip now. And after creating the characters, it's asked me to create an avatar or not. And my answer, of course, yes. And you can see my character avatar. And once they're ready, it's automatically generate the background image. And here is the detail about my characters. And when the game starts and a skill check is needed, the AI will use function call to roll the dice fairly instead of just guessing the number, and then negate the result. And here is the Android versions. As you can see, the data is singular, so you can play it on any devices. So it's okay. So let's end it now. Here. Okay, thank you. And to test this, I ran a beta test with 13 players. most of them are experts in TRPGs. We found something very interesting. Next step. Yeah. And first, the bad news. The AI was not good at following rules. It only scored 3 out of 5, and sometimes it forgets the story. But here is the good news. Even with those mistakes, our NPS score was very high, with 61. So what does it tell us? So next slide, please. The data shows player will forgive mistake if you solve their main problem. They want to play anytime, anywhere. They care about the experience more than perfect rules. But we still need to fix it, right? So how to fix it? Next slide, please. The core problem comes down to one famous concept in AI: attentions. Currently, token consumptions grow linearly, ON. The longer you pay, the larger context becomes. As the story gets longer, the AI get overwhelmed. It's become hard for the AI to understand the whole pictures. It's caused to create inconsistent stories and break the rules. So I turned to the latest research and find the solutions. GraphRef. Instead of fitting the AI the whole context, GraphRef will build a knowledge graph connecting characters, items, and events like a web. With this, I can retaliate only relevant connections, so the AI focus on what is truly important. Technically, it's a breakthrough. It's trained the token consumption capacities from ON to O1. It's make the AI smarter and it's make the business profitable. So phase 1 is about the rule engines using Google File Search and GraphRef. And later in phase 3, I plan to expand Dungeon Dragon rules. Next slide, please. And again, I'm Tommy. I'm a developer who loves using scientific methods to solve real problems, whether it is physical equations or making AI memory effective. I enjoy finding the solutions. I'm looking for back-end developers or full-stack opportunities. And next slide, please. Still have next slide, yeah. Sorry. Special thanks to our beta testers, and thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Tommy. This is a cool app, and I can see this being very useful, especially if this was around, especially during the pandemic. I can see this being used a lot when everyone was just playing online games and just,
Yeah.
they were just in their houses. So with that, if I could please have the guest speakers join us and provide feedback for our last student.
I guess I can go first this time. First of all, well done. Congratulations. I love that you tested it with a bunch of people. You've been playing with this app as well as building it at the same time. AI not following rules. I mean, that is a constant struggle of my daily life as well.
Yeah.
What was the biggest challenge you think you had while you were making that?
The first thing is following rule. Yeah, because now actually I didn't put a whole rule book into the context, right? Because the rule book is very large context. So if put all of them into the context, it will be break the context limit, right? So now I didn't do anything. So I didn't tell the AI how to play it and how to handle it, the rules. So now all of the problem, the first problem is because we don't have the context, right? So the next step is using a RAG system. So it can search about the context of the rules. So depends on which situations use a different rule. So the AI knows how to handle it and navigating the story.
Nice.
So maybe to piggyback on the rules thing, right?
Yeah.
Did you AI is very good when we don't know the rules. Like it can be good at discovering rules. More traditional machine learning is a lot about discovering rules that aren't obvious, right? With a lot of these gaming systems, like the rules are there, right? They're written in a book, right? And yes, there's ambiguity and there's players that min-max and do type of stuff, but a lot of them, like how to compare a roll plus a modifier to a target AC or something like that's like it's known, right? So did you consider maybe in addition to the rag-based retrieval, because I think that's very useful, especially for the more ambiguous things where the machine can interpret. Did you consider basically pointing an AI at the rule book, rule at a time, and say, write me some static code that actually does this, right? So you can compute things like like skill checks or the stuff that's non-controversial. Just do it, it's like using an AI to add numbers, right? It's like sometimes it might even get it right, but it's massive overkill, right? Like use a calculator instead.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Says actually I need to do it, do a new function call to do this, but I don't have time to do it. So that's why
Honestly, you're operating with constraints. But maybe that can be a phase 1.5 or something.
Yeah, so definitely there was to be the next step, right? Yeah.
I think the other thing I'd say, like you may have noticed from the terms I'm using, I have some background in this field. I've been playing RPGs for 30 years. My son is a DM or a GM, and he enjoys like the world building. He enjoys a lot of these aspects of it, right? Spends a ton of time authoring this content, right? So so he's a slightly different user group than you're looking at, right? Like you're somebody who wants to do the interaction, but doesn't have time or another person to do the world building for them, right? It might be definitely get to your 1.0 first and do that, but it might not be too far from what you're doing now to implement a GM helper, right? It won't do everything for you, but if you're probably in a situation where like a player goes left when you thought they were going to go right, and you've got nothing prepared for if they went left, right? So for the last minute, like, oh, I need an NPC, or like I need a reason why they can't go this way. I'll just get kind of like to bail a GM out of a pinch versus create the whole world and do everything for me. So that might be able to leverage a lot of the same prompt engineering logic into these rules that you've built, but then it becomes like an AI assistant versus a replacement.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Thank you. And
I really like this. It's really cool, and I've never thought about using AI this way before. Like I don't play tabletop RPG, but my sister does. So if you were to think about like future features and improvements, like what would you add in the app?
In the futures, maybe around the combined mode, because as you notice, in a real maybe I said it like this, in a real world, so positions get is very important, right? But now so the AI didn't have the positions concept, so when they are fighting, so just face to face. But in a real world, maybe you can hide behind a wall, or you can see it, but sometimes you can't. So maybe if you have these features, you can increase the quality of things. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guest speakers, for sharing your feedback with Tommy. It's a very cool product it is that he's built for us. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much to everyone that joined us today, and congratulations, graduates, on the completion of your software development bootcamp. Now, if you guys have any sort of general feedback, anyone that would like to join the stage, ask any last questions, I would welcome them. So I'll just wait if there's anyone that would like to join the stage or ask any questions or anything like that. Okay, I think everyone might just be a little bit shy. That's okay. We'll just leave our comments in the chat. Just some things to wrap up our event for the day. So thank you everyone to all of our guest speakers that joined us today. The technical insights that you all had and shared with the students are really invaluable to us. And they really value everything that you provide as they start out their careers. For those of you in the audience that are not partners with us yet, we have several opportunities for you to partner with us. Anything from speaking with us at events like today, the pitch days, AMAs, or future events that we have. Please send me any questions you have. My email is up on the slide. With that, thank you so much, everyone. Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking the time out to meet with us today. And thank you to the graduates for sharing their projects. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day and an amazing weekend. And thank you so much for joining. Good night, everyone. Take care.